shootout. It might take some time, but it was some evening.
It's brilliant. Really, it was brilliant. I enjoyed the game so much because I saw us just playing football with the team. Obviously, we trained now 2 days together to prepare that game, and having kind of 65-66% possession against Arsenal, which changed as well a lot, of course. But I think this team played kind of together already in the European League, at least. We didn't do that, and so I'm really pleased with the performance. I like that. Yes, when you concede 5 goals, obviously some things don't go completely in the right way, and we lost balls in the wrong moment. Yes, and then we were too open in the formation. We wanted to have a brave formation to play football, but of course not that open that they have the counter-attacks they had. But that's all, and then it's about winning a football game is about dealing with all the setbacks in a game, and the boys did that. I really loved that, and how the kids enjoyed it. It's unbelievable how Queeb celebrated penalty he saved, how Curtis celebrated the last penalty he scored, how when I saw only on television because I was already in it, how he was still on the pitch, how he enjoyed his first night at Anfield. It's so nice. Nico Williams, when I see the celebration for the 5th goal, yes, Divock scores, but everybody's running to Nico because he did the cross and all this. I have so many wonderful stories tonight, and I couldn't be more happy for the boys.
You're in Qatar for the quarterfinals when the quarterfinals take place, so the only slight thing is you have to find somewhere in a very, very busy calendar to fit in this quarterfinal game now.
Oh no, we will not do that. They have to find a proper solution or no solution. That's how it is. It's easy. So they cannot do with us what they want. They set up all the games. The FIFA wants us to play the cup. Everybody told us if we don't go, then this and this happens. So we go. And now the Carabao Cup, we will not go out of the Carabao Cup because nobody finds a date for us. So they have to. That's how it is, and we cannot change that. But it's all the things nobody plans this. How can that happen? In 2019, you set up a competition. If one specific team goes through, which was successful last year, you find no date. That only shows us that the fixture list is just crazy, that you don't have time for something like this. That's the moment everybody has to start thinking about that. That's why I'm so happy that we are in the next round. If they don't find a date, an appropriate date for us to play it, then Arsenal can play the next round. But we wanted to win the game tonight, or the next opponent can go through like this. We are not. I don't know how to say it, but nobody can push us around like they want. We are a football team, very ambitious football club, but
it has to be right.
Absolutely.
Good evening. I think for the supporter was a very, very good match. I think amazing. The performance above all offensively. Then when you receive 5 goals is maybe defensively is not the best performance, but I think for the football is amazing night. I think this competition, this cup with matches like tonight for the supporter is amazing, and then we are disappointed because I think we were very closer to win, and at the end we draw and we lost in the penalty moment.
From the manager's point of view, when you watch a game like this, do you really enjoy it like we do?
Yes, I enjoyed it, and I say to the player, the first half, I think the rhythm was amazing, very high paces for everybody. And then is how we can take the match for our objective as a win that match. But really, we were very closer. But the last action also in their last chances to score, they scored it, and we were in the penalty in the last moment, and we lost.
So many youngsters tonight. What do you think about their performance?
No, I am tonight. I think very good things, very good matters on the pitch for some players, and we need to continue in our way. And really, I think some players they use that match tonight for continuing taking confidence, taking paces for the next matches.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Emery, Matt Christie. We'll try and get Matt back very quickly. I'd like to hear from Jurgen Klopp after tonight because it was an unbelievable game. It probably was the best game I can remember watching this season, last 2 or 3 years maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, would he be bothered really if they lost? Well, he will be bothered now with what he's seen. All of a sudden now he's seen players, he's seen some of these fringe players which never would usually get a game, and they've stood up, and they've really taken notice. You look at Elliot as well. Elliot, what he went through,
16-year-old.
yes, the emotions, what he went through, making a mistake for one of the goals, getting the penalty. You know, he grew tonight. You know, and very difficult when you're 16 years old, and he's one of the examples. So many players, what we've seen all throughout. You know, and to see what sort of future we have, to look at these clubs and see what's behind, what these wonderful training facilities are. Let's have a look at the talent coming through. Well, we've seen them, and it's thumbs up, by the way.
Pause for a second, Nick. Let's see if we can get back over to Anfield. I think we've got the line back. We can now hear from Jurgen Klopp.
Jurgen, I'm going to ask you with my...
Can't find an appropriate date for Liverpool to play it. He'd rather Arsenal went through.
Yeah, well, I think they play 9 games in a month, if I'm right by saying that. Or
The price of success.
Of
Club World
course,
Cup, of course, takes place here in Qatar in
yes,
December.
of course it is. I mean, yeah, it is the price for success, but he's not happy with that. There, he's waiting to see what they're going to do about it. He started off being happy from seeing what he saw tonight and watching his youngsters celebrate, and all of a sudden he's gone into this now, and he's
You
not
tell us
happy with
something
it.
that's obviously it's been going through his mind for a little while. This is obviously rankling with the German a little.
Of course it is, yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what the outcome is. He was saying, well, okay, Arsenal can play. Yeah, but, no, of course they will, but he knows he's got a busy schedule coming up. You know, when he comes here, after does he miss 2 games in the Premier League when he's
It's only
playing
one
here?
weekend. I think it's the 18th when the semi-final is played. Is obviously when the cup quarter-finals were due to be, and then at the weekend, if they were to win the semi-final against, I don't know, they'll play off the top of my head, but if they were to win the semi-final, then the weekend would be a Premier League fixture. So only one Premier League game.
It's a nice problem, though, isn't it? Because they're in everything. They've got a chance to win everything.
It might take some time. But it's amazing.
Yeah, Liverpool are flying. There's this belief at the moment, and they're going to take that all the way through the season. So they've just got to get through that busy schedule in December.
Well, speaking of being short of time, we're short of time. So let's get you over to Villa Park and just show you the goals from the West Midlands derby. Villa beating Wolves by 2-1. Can't find an appropriate date for Liverpool to play it. He'd rather Arsenal went through.
Yeah, well, I think they play 9 games in a month, if I'm right by saying that. Or
The price of success.
Of
Club World
course,
Cup, of course, takes place here in Qatar in
yes,
December.
of course it is. I mean, yeah, it is the price for success, but he's not happy with that. There, he's waiting to see what they're going to do about it. He started off being happy from seeing what he saw tonight and watching his youngsters celebrate, and all of a sudden he's gone into this now, and he's
You
not
tell us
happy with
something
it.
that's obviously it's been going through his mind for a little while. This is obviously rankling with the German a little.
Of course it is, yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see what the outcome is. He was saying, well, okay,
They'll find a
Arsenal can
solution,
play. Yeah,
won't they?
but, no, of course they will, but he knows he's got a busy schedule coming up. You know, when he comes here, after does he miss 2 games in the Premier League when he's
It's only
playing
one
here?
weekend. I think it's the 18th when the semi-final is played. Is obviously when the cup quarter-finals were due to be, and then at the weekend, if they were to win the semi-final against, I don't know, they'll play off the top of my head, but if they were to win the semi-final, then the weekend would be a Premier League fixture. So only one Premier League game.
It's a nice problem, though, isn't it? Because they're in everything. They've got a chance to win everything.
It might take some time. But it's amazing.
Yeah, Liverpool are flying. There's this belief at the moment, and they're going to take that all the way through the season. So they've just got to get through that busy schedule and see what the Arsenal fans think of that. It's a wonderful game of football, but they're still going away defeated. Hopefully it's okay, and they still have the confidence with him. They've got to be happy with seeing what these wonderful young talent they've got at Arsenal. But just interesting to see what sort of feeling is going to be coming back from them. A lot of Arsenal fans there, you know, and they should be walking away from that ground scratching their heads thinking, how have we lost that? You know, because they were in control of it for big parts of the game, and yet they lose again.
Another man who has a similar feeling tonight, Frank Lampard. He's seen his Chelsea side crash out. He's speaking to beIN Sports' Sammy Salud.
Frank, give us your thoughts about this second defeat to Man United.
Well, I thought in terms of general play, I don't think we deserved to lose the game. They didn't create much other than the 2 goals, and one is an amazing goal out of nowhere. The other is our fault for giving the ball away, and they score a penalty. But we created more chances, made a lot of changes. So I saw some good things today, particularly in the changes that we made. A chance to look at some of the younger players; they were very strong. So there's a lot to take of it, but we're obviously disappointed that we're out of the competition.
Easier to take his league to focus on. Obviously Chelsea, different situation to Arsenal with this transfer embargo, lower expectations maybe.
Yeah, there is, yeah. He's changed it, but he's learning a lot out of his players. I think is a massive plus with what he's doing, and I think Frank will be very successful there. But it's not going to be easy. There's going to be nights like this. It's not going to go all to plan. But he's learning with his players and he's improving with his players. So tonight he takes it on the chin again. Still got a busy schedule and gets straight back to the Premier League. And just it's a working process. They can't bring any players in, so you've got to get the best out of these young players and obviously experienced players.
Nick, almost out of time. We've got our 8 quarter-finalists. It's been a very good fourth round. What stood out for you?
What stood out for me? Should I say what we're thinking of? No, I'll just want to say something, and I'm going to go backwards. Today's been wonderful with the players, what we've seen, fantastic. But Tommy Doyle has a little bit of history, which I found out the other day. Glyn Pardoe, Mike Doyle, who is his grandfather, is his son, married Glyn Pardoe's daughter, as you can see behind us here now, and this is Tommy Doyle here.
So his two granddads played with your dad.
Manchester City, they won the trophies with Dad, obviously with Man City won everything. Now this was the old legends, if you like, and all of a sudden you look at the youngster who played last night with his debut. Tommy Doyle has a mixture of both Glyn Pardoe and Mike Doyle, and that's a bit of a gene. That's
football genes, yeah.
Absolutely. I just thought it was an interesting story, and
he's obviously some player to be able to force his way into Pep Guardiola's side.
He is, yeah. Pep Guardiola thinks an awful lot of him, and obviously him with getting his game and playing well last night. He's all of a sudden got in there. He plays in a lot of pre-season games, and hopefully he has a bright future and does really well and makes these two very proud. But I just thought it was a nice little bit of a story. And tonight has been breathtaking, by the way. I feel like I want to get my boots on and my gear on and go and have a kickabout outside. Fun, wonderful. You want football, you want excitement. The Carabao Cup doesn't get better than that.
I'm not going to play with you if you think that wasn't a penalty.
Put your Newcastle kit on and I'll get my Sunderland kit on.
Anyway, I think we should leave it there. What a night we've seen. What 2 nights we've seen in the Carabao Cup. But the action doesn't stop here on beIN Sports. This weekend we've got the Rugby World Cup final for you. England against South Africa. We're underway. Lunchtime, 12 o'clock. beIN Sports 1 for Arabic, 13 for English. That's MENA only. Promises to be a very special occasion. Premier League fixtures this weekend, all live on beIN Sports. We start off on the south coast. Mistakes from both sides, which almost made it a better game.
It was, but it was end to end. It's about entertaining the crowd, and they got entertained. Everybody did tonight. This was a mistake at the start. This was Mustafi with a mistake. Very experienced player. He just got it wrong, and we thought it might be one of those nights for Arsenal, but it wasn't to be the case.
So Liverpool in front. Arsenal level not long afterwards. Lucas Torreira scored, but was he offside?
If the VAR was there, I think there's a good call for it maybe being offside, but it wasn't. And you know what? It was nice to have the freedom of not having VAR. It was just end-to-end stuff, and two teams with quality players really giving it everything.
Here's a question for you, Nick. Have the officials become too reliant on VAR, so when it's not there, they're not used to having to make these decisions anymore?
No, because a linesman should be able to spot that. There's two players who could be offside. Yeah, well, that's the whole argument with everything, with VAR, without VAR. I have my own twist on it. But we can go into it quick. Do you want me to go into it quickly and tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
Well, you're watching the Rugby World Cup at the moment, aren't you? Just watch how those referees do that, and there's a referee. You have to respect the referee, and vice versa. But all of a sudden they do it. I would have them, if you're going to have VAR, I'd have the whole grounds for knowing what the conversation is between the VAR people and the referee. And if you get any slight chances, look at a guy called Nigel Owens, who's in charge, the Welsh referee. Now he referees, having a feel for the game, referees games, when to blow the whistle, when not to keep the game flowing. There's an art to it. A lot to learn out of it, by the way.
Did the referee get this one wrong? Did Harvey Elliott dive? Was it clever play from the 16-year-old?
If you want to call it clever play, but not for me, not at all. This is a modern day football, and we have to get used to it. You know he's going to go past the defender. Any slightest little touch, he's going to go down. If I'm a referee there, I don't even think twice about it. Get on with the game.
Which was more of a penalty, that one or the Daniel James?
Neither of them. Good effort though, I like that. You did try just to twist.
James Milner doesn't miss from the spot, does he? He pulled Liverpool back into it to make it 3-2. Arsenal back in front. Wonderful piece of skill after the mistake from Mesut Ozil here.
Yeah, just flicked it back there, and all of a sudden, mistake from Liverpool trying to play out from the back. And look at the Arsenal fans. you really felt like it was going to be their night. Milner with